Good evening. On the world news tonight from Baba Bagide Imo Television. First, the headlines. Tinubu's wife foresees glorious 2024 for Nigerians. Emefiele and his gang face firing squad if they had committed these egregious misappropriations in China. Bayo Ononuga. Oshibajo was just a houseboy in Asurok. Tinubu Sabiu, the former recharge card seller, turned billionaire, was the vice president. Reno Omokri. ACF appeals reopening of Niger borders. And on sports, Osimhen signs new Napoli contract. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. The news in detail. Senator Oluremi Tinubu, wife of President Bola Tinubu, expressed optimism at the State House, proclaiming that the year 2024 would be splendid for Nigerians. She conveyed these in her Christmas message following an elaborate Christmas celebration held for the children of Nana Berry Orphanage in Abuja. In her address, she urged parents to continually inspire hope in their children, emphasizing that as we step into the year 2024, our focus should be on transforming the lives of the younger generation. We must avoid disclosing poverty in front of our children. We are not a poor nation. The affluent should support the less privileged and empower them to prosperity. This is what is needed. We have to remove the concept of poverty from our minds and offer them a positive outlook, Senator Tinubu stated. We are entering a promising year, and those who believe in its promise will reap its reward, she added. During the event, the First Lady narrated a Bible story to the children and encouraged parents to instill good morals in the children to help them become exceptional adults. These children, just like all Nigerians, have dreams and aspirations. Bringing them here is to show them that nothing is unattainable. They too can achieve positions of power by the grace of God, she continued. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, has said the embattled former Central Bank of Nigeria CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, and his cohort would be facing a firing squad if they were in China. Mr. Ononuga stated this on Friday while reacting to the outcome of a presidential panel investigating the activities of the Apex Bank under Emefiele's tenure. Now, information also report that the findings from Jim Obazi, the special investigator probing the activities of CBN, revealed that Emefiele and his gangs embezzled billions of naira and committed other gross financial offenses. Unauthorized funding of 593 bank accounts located in the UK, US, and China, fraudulent cash withdrawal of $6.23 million from CBN vault under a purported approval of the president to pay foreign election observers. Gross financial misconduct by the ex-CBN governor and at least 13 other individuals, including his deputy governors. 543.4 million euros kept in fixed deposit by Mr. Emefiele. Manipulation of the Naira exchange rate and perpetration of fraud in the e-Naira project of the CBN. The Naira redesign was neither recommended by the board of the CBN nor approved by the then President Muhammadu Buhari. The CBN printed the new 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1000 Naira notes as a total cost of 61.5 billion Naira, out of which 31.8 billion Naira has been paid to the contractors. These are the offenses under the former CBN governor, what the CBN investigator found. Reno Omokri, the former aide to ex-president Goodluck Jonathan, has entered the fray, adding his perspective to the viral investigation report by Jim Obazi. The CBN investigator appointed by Tinubu, in his catching critic, Omokri labeled the outgoing vice president as nothing more than a houseboy in Asurok. The controversy erupted on Friday when Jim Obazi, the special CBN investigator, unveiled damning details about Godwin Emefiele, the former governor of the Apex Bank. The revelations range from operating multiple foreign accounts in China, the UK, and the US to stashing millions of pounds in them, all the way to the alleged illegal redesigning of Naira North, purportedly at the behest of Tunde Sabiu, an aide and not the former President Buhari. Omokri, sharing his personal insight, boldly asserted that Tunde Sabiu was the true vice president and quite possibly the de facto president, while former VP Yemi Osinbajo played the role of a mere houseboy. Osinbajo was just a houseboy. Omokri further insisted that Tunde Sabiu, who transformed from a recharge card seller to a billionaire at the expense of taxpayers, should be held accountable before the law. If the EFCC has demolished the Zianis and requested an extradition from the UK back to Nigeria, what are they waiting for with Tunde? Is he not also in the UK, or is he still above the law? Former Vice President Sabiu must face justice. He can't sell recharge cards at Kuje or Kirikiri, said Omokri. The Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has appealed to the federal government and members of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS to consider reopening the Nigerian and Nigeria borders to enhance economic activities between the two countries. A statement issued by Professor Tukur Mohamed Baba, National Publicity Secretary of ACF, lamented that the continued closure of the borders has affected many small-scale businesses between the two countries, such as food supply, medicine, petrol, electricity, among others. According to the statement, since July 2023, Nigeria and other ECOWAS member countries have maintained a regime of economic sanctions along with the threat of military intervention to pressurize the military regime in Niger into restoring the erstwhile civilian government of Mohamed Bazoum in response to the June 2023 military coup in Niger. It stated that after several doubling down on the threat, ECOWAS recently announced a conditional willingness to dialogue with the Nigerian military regime without removing the threat of military action. ACF therefore condemned any change of government anywhere through non-constitutional means. ACF also believes in the sanctity of the bilateral and/or multilateral agreement, especially ECOWAS, an important organization that Nigeria labored hard to ensure was established. The statement observed that Nigeria and Niger communities enjoy close historic, social, cultural, economic, and political ties that predate European colonialism and decreed the imposition of arbitrary and artificial boundaries between our peoples. You are watching the world news from BGI TV. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, told President Bola Tinubu to call the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to order over the scarcity of Nigeria in the country. I beg your pardon, scarcity of cash in Nigeria. The TUC said the unfortunate development has continued to subject Nigerians to needless excruciating hardship by insensitive and heartless agents and agencies of government whose actions and inactions are really difficult to fathom and impossible to defend. In a statement signed by the TUC President, Comrade Festus Osifeso, and the Secretary General, Comrade Nuhu Toro, the Labour Center said it was amazed that the CBN was finding it extremely difficult to make the currency available to the working people and citizens. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has watched with growing concern, alarm, and dismay the sudden, inexplicable, acute scarcity of our currency, the Naira, across the country. We are amazed that the Central Bank of Nigeria is finding it difficult to make our currency available to the working people and the citizens. A 26-year-old Nigerian master's student at Dundee University, Scotland, Santochukwu Okowa, has been sentenced to 40 months in prison for making terrorism threats against staff and students of the school. Okowa, an international energy student, will also be deported after a pet sheriff court found him guilty of the charge. Witnesses revealed how the student had claimed to have a military background and was capable of making bombs and unleashing a deadly virus on the city. Okoha, who arrived in the United Kingdom in 2021, also stated that he had enlisted the terror group ICIS to help bomb the university and told staff of his plan to target the city in a chemical attack. Sheriff William Wood said, "Your presence in the United Kingdom is not conducive to the public good, and I make a recommendation for your deportation in due course. You were abusive towards her and tried to have her removed from our university course after he had threatened a fellow student who refused his advances. The university decided to suspend you from your course and you turned your attention towards staff. You threatened mass murder, terrorism, said you would plant bombs and used biological weapons. The charge read, Okoha, a prisoner at Perth, was found guilty of threatening to murder staff at the university and committing terrorist crimes between December 2021 and June 2022. He was found guilty of threatening to commit mass murder using biological weapons, revealing staff details to international authorities, and claiming to have planted bombs. Moving to northern state, the Katsina State Police Command has successfully neutralized a notorious criminal gang in Yorgoje town, Tenkara LGA. This was after operatives attached to the Kankara Divisional Police Headquarters executed a major raid on criminal hideouts in Yergamji village, resulting in the disruption of illicit activities within the region. The raid, characterized by precision and determination, unfolded in a fierce shootout between the police personnel and the criminal elements. As a statement to the operation's success, law enforcement recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 locally made guns, and 5 AK-47 magazines. Notably, 2 of the magazines were fully loaded with 59 rounds of 7.62 mm caliber live ammunition. The impact of this operation is significant, effectively incapacitating criminal activities in the targeted area. The Katsina State Police Command underscored their commitment to ongoing efforts, emphasizing the relentless pursuit of fleeing suspects. Investigations are actively underway, with authorities expressing confidence in tracking down and apprehending those responsible for the criminal activities rocking Katsina State. Information is coming and revealed findings which show that corporate beggars make more money than some employees by using begging as a source of income. They usually gather around marketplaces, retail centers, bus stations, hospitals, offices, and places of worship. As information gathered that caught one of them at Wuse Market, and she asked to remain anonymous, saying that most of them beg because they had no other way to make ends meet. She said, I've been begging for over 12 years in different locations in Abuja. I am married and blessed with 9 children. My husband is not a responsible father, and I want my children to be educated. I use the money I get to feed and train them in school. They go to school during the week and they join me in begging at weekends. We share ourselves to different locations. She claimed that prior to the gasoline subsidy being removed, our monthly income was between 150,000 naira and 200,000 naira. She furthered, but because of the current economic situation, I now make between 90,000 naira to 100,000 naira monthly. The only thing I know how to do is to beg, as it pays me more than getting a job. I know when workers receive their salaries, and that is the time I go to government offices every season as its location. I am married with 8 children. I have 3 graduates, 4 of my daughters are married, and I have 4 houses. All proceed of my begging. From that story, we go to the foreign news. President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania took action on Thursday, 21st December 2023, to address the frequent power outages that have been plaguing the country. In response to the power rationing caused by low water levels in dams and the ongoing repairs to power lines, President Hassan dissolved the entire board of the Tanzanian Electricity Supply Company. This decision comes as a response to the growing frustration of Tanzanians regarding the persistent blackouts. As part of the shake-up, Major General Paul Kisesa Simuli, who served as a TENESCO board chair, has been reassigned as Tanzania's ambassador to Uganda. Dr. Rimo Inyazoa, and the director of business at Azania Bank, has been appointed to replace Simuli as the new chair of the TENESCO board. Meanwhile, neighboring Kenya has also been grappling with nationwide power outages. President William Ruto has attributed this blackout to faulty power lines and has affirmed his government's commitment to addressing the issue. The outages have notably affected critical locations such as the bustling Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Finally, on sports. Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen has signed a new contract for his Napoli side, as confirmed today. Sport journalist Fabrizio Romano confirmed this development via his X account today. He wrote, Victor Osimhen signs new deal at Napoli, confirmed, documents also in place. Earlier on Friday, Romano noted that the agreement between Napoli and Victor Osimhen on new deal is 100% done and affirmed. It will be sealed before Christmas. It's imminent. According to him, Osimhen's contract is until June 2026. There will be a huge salary rise for the Nigerian striker. A release clause has also been confirmed, and he is expected to stay in January. With that sports story, we've come to the end of today's World News from BGI TV. Before we go, some headlines. Tinubu's wives foresees glorious 2024 year for Nigerians. Falae and his gang to face firing squad if they had committed these egregious misappropriations in China, Bayo or Ononuga. Osimhen was just a houseboy in Aso, Reno Omokri. ACF appeals reopening of Niger borders. On sports, Osimhen signs new Napoli contract. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Babagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our podcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adibayo. Please like and follow the page for advert placement, executing services, coverage of events and function. Please dial the phone number streaming on the screen. Few days to Xmas of the year 2023. May it never be the last in the life of all faithful Christians around the world. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.